Today, we are going to butcher a whole pork, show you how to save some money. I like to cut this over a little pan, something I'm going to use as like a little garbage bowl, if you will. And that's where I want my liquids to run, just so I'm cleaning up less pork juice off my cutting board. All right. All right, as I mentioned, I'm just going to rub this off a little bit, get a lot of that juice right into there. Hell, I almost need a bigger cutting board. Might go swap mine out. So with the price of everything going up, I think we're all looking at figuring out what are ways we can save some money and maximize our budget at the grocery store. So I've got here a whole pork loin. I just picked this up at BJ's Warehouse. You can get it at Sam's, Costco, whatever your place is that sells these. Hell, you can buy them at, probably your local grocery store too. But you want a whole pork loin. This is a big one. This is 9.8 pounds. So you want these big 10 to 12 pound ones, not those little thin ones that are sort of pre-packaged and just on the shelf, and they're usually pre-seasoned. What we're gonna do is we're gonna open this up. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna show you how to make some nice thick cut, inch or inch and a quarter thick pork chops. And we're gonna save a small section for a roast, show you how to do that. And by the way, this whole thing was $25 for this at $2.89 a pound, and this is at the beginning of 2026 or so. So let me show you how we get this. I'm going to open this up and dry it off. Fresh cappuccino, something. Okay, so you see I've got my entire pork loin out here. I've got the fat cap side up, but what I want to do is show you on the other side of it. You'll notice this little line here, and you see how it kind of goes straight along this edge and it begins to curve down. This is where you're going to get a lot more red meat, a little bit more flavorful. Here's where you can get some amazing boneless pork chops. And if you want to do a roast, just before this really starts to curve down, that's about the spot you probably want to cut it. So I'm going to cut a small roast here. I want to try doing a spiral cut roast in the next couple day or so. So let's go ahead and start with this. Now, the first thing you can do is you can trim this up, and certainly if we have quite a bit of fat on here, we're going to want to trim that. Let's just see how thick some of this is. Yeah, that's quite thick on there. So we're just going to go ahead and trim some of this right off of here. Don't need it all off of there, because again, this is just going to be on the edge of our pork chop. And I'm going just before I get down to the meat. All right, I think that is good. I'm going to take this and just put it in my bowl here. Now, if you recall, I showed you where this line is. Let me turn this again. You can sort of see here how this little line of fat kind of goes right along here where the rib bones were. You can actually see the dents for it, and right here it starts to curve inward. So we're going to start on this end and we're going to do chops. So let me just flip this over. Now, you can always square up the edges. I'm not in a butcher shop. I'm not trying to present it. I'll certainly eat a ribeye pork chop that has a little bit of a rippled edge on it. That's not a problem for me. So we're just going to take this. I like to go 2 fingers wide. That's a little bit more than 1 inch in my case. And we're just going to go ahead and trim this first pork chop. There we go. Now, again, you can see this. It's got this red meat here, this ribeye meat, the pork here, and then it's got a little bit of that fat line through it. This one will be a little bit of a tough piece just because of all this fat. That's okay. We'll set this one aside right over here. So let's take our knife, and again, 2 fingers thick. By the way, left-handed doesn't make this easy. So I'm going to cut it right about here. And again, you don't have to use the 2 fingers if you sort of know where it is. Now, I like to take my pinky and my thumb and hold it on the edge and then curve my fingers right up here. And we just want to cut right on through in one nice motion. We get that beautiful looking chop right there. Do the same thing here for the next one. 3 nice inch or so thick chops. Probably go with a 4th one here. So as you can see, these are nice, thick, 2 fingers thick, so that's probably 1 inch to 1 1.25 inches. Delicious looking chops. They have a little bit of fat that runs through each one of them. We have this beautiful, beautiful piece of meat. Now, I'm in my mid-50s, and I can remember being younger, and you always heard, like, you got to make sure pork is well done. It's got to be over 165 degrees. The problem with that is, listen, those porks, when they were roasted like that, they would end up being very dry. And these will be juicy, sliceable, delicious pork chops. So let's take these chops here. We get these 4 set up. And now I'm going to take this section. Again, remember you see where it's starting to curve right about here? We're gonna make this a roast. So I'm just going to take this, oh, I don't know, this is probably 6 or 7 inches long. And we're just going to cut this guy right on through. And this will be a roast. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to spiral cut this and stuff it, but we'll do a video on that as well. So we've got our roast sitting here, and now this is a really good piece here. I'm gonna cut this part off and just set it aside with my trimmings. Now a lot of people will take this, they'll grind it up, they'll roast it, they'll make a second roast out of this, or they'll cut additional pork chops. What's interesting is there's a lot of things you can do with this. So I'll show you a neat trick here. Let's cut one of these as if it's like another pork chop, right, that we did. Again, we're doing it about 1 inch to 1.25 inches. Now, you want boneless pork ribs? No problem. Take this and slice it the opposite way. You now have what oftentimes in the store is sold as boneless ribs. Those are delicious cuts of meat, and you can cook those right on the grill. Real good stuff. Now, we're actually going to make more pork chops than riblets there, so I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to demonstrate it. All right, again, we're going to cut a few more of these guys. I think I'm going to do a few of them that are a bit thinner. Yeah, no, I'm not. This is looking really good. I'm just going to keep doing these as chops. Now, this last one, you can see here, it's about 1 inch or 1.25 inches, and then I got about a 1/2 inch here. So I'm essentially going to take this short piece here, and that will be like with our riblets. It's about the same size as those. Now, again, these are going to be absolutely delicious chops. And if you see, look, you got a nice lean pork chop. You got a little bit of the fat on the edge here. You'd cut this off, obviously, when you eat it. I like to cook it with it on there. I think it's significantly better. Allows you to get a lot of seasoning on that fat. Let that fat render down into the meat. It helps keep it good and juicy. Alrighty, let's get these guys turned here. And just to kind of show you what we ended up with, we have, this is probably 1.5 pounds or so roast. That's plenty for the entire family, and maybe some extra for some luncheon meat. We've got a few of these little riblets. Right now we have 9 of these nice pork sirloin steaks, good thick ones. They'll be really good on the grill. This is an amazing way to save a few bucks and butcher your own pork loin. Again, $30, that's at least 3 meals, like dinner meals, and even some leftover stuff for snacks or lunch. So I hope you guys found this useful. Very short, easy video, but it's a great way to save a few dollars. Go to Sam's, Costco, BJ's. Heck, you can get it at Walmart or your local grocery store, wherever you are regionally. I won't name them all because I know they're different all over the country. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and continue packing these. Because we have a vacuum sealer, this is a great economic way to do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in my pork chops into these bags. I've got them. I'll show you what we've got going here. These 3 in here. These are the little riblets. All right, and as you can see, we've got a bag here. This is 2 chops and 3 riblets, 3 chops, and 3 chops. We're in the middle of redoing our pantry, so this is just sitting right out here on the floor until I finish the epoxy in the cabinet. Over here. Yeah, right here. Hey, do me a favor. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more like it, subscribe to the channel and click on that little bell notification so you get notified of new videos. Thanks. What I like about these is once these are vacuum sealed, this can go in the freezer, this can sit in the fridge for a good week without a problem. All right, thanks y'all. Safe and happy grilling or butchering or whatever it is you do to save some money.